There is simply no way that Isildur is dead in the Rings of Power, despite the implication to the contrary. The army of Numenor spends a large portion of the Rings of Power Episode 7 trying to unite after being shocked by a devastating volcanic eruption, while Elendil laments the loss of his son after his supposed death in the aftermath. Despite Isildur's unquestionable suffering, and the circumstances surrounding his abduction, which appeared to be fatal, the rest of the Lord of the Rings narrative makes it very obvious that Isildur will survive. Even if Isildur's disappearance was discovered by Elendil, there isn't really any sense of danger because the character still has a significant part to play in the Lord of the Rings mythology. Isildur is one of the most important and sad characters in the larger narrative since he will both defeat Sauron on the slopes of Mount Doom and reject the opportunity to eradicate evil from the world by retaining the One Ring for himself. As such, it's impossible for him to be dead before many of the most critical events in Middle History Earths have transpired. That said, his absence does create a genuine mystery around how he could have survived what seemed like a deadly encounter with a burning building. There are several ways a character thought to be dead may really be alive in the upheaval caused by the Rings of Power Episode 6's dramatic climax. Understanding exactly what is happening is difficult, as the eruption's aftermath makes evident. Even though it appeared as though a structure had collapsed on top of him, Isildur could have easily escaped due to the smoke and confusion. One of the witnesses to his death, Queen Emriel, is really blinded by a cloud of burning embers shortly before the structure falls, which adds to the difficulty. This suggests that she and people nearby might not have seen him go. Plus, as evidenced by Galadriel's improbable survival, bearing the full force of a fiery blast may not even be enough to kill a character in certain circumstances, despite appearances. Unexpected survivals are common in The Lord of the Rings in several ways. After a battle with Saruman's Warg Riders and Peter Jackson's original trilogy, Aragorn famously avoided a tumble over the cliff despite the majority of his companions believing he was dead. As a result, Isildur's return would be a pleasing symmetry with that of his ancestor, especially because it appears that his mount would also be able to save him after escaping the Menorian camp. Isildur must be alive in order to fulfill his destiny as the one to overthrow Sauron, regardless of the specifics of how he managed to survive. Isildur played a crucial role in the battle against the Dark Lord as a member of the Last Alliance. He even used Narsil, his father's shattered sword, to cleave the ring from the Dark Lord's hand. Even if the Rings of Power messed about with certain Lord of the Rings mythology, altering such a crucial and well-established part would be sacrilegious. Therefore, it is quite improbable that the Lord of the Rings of Power would follow such a controversial narrative path, indicating that Isildur will yet return before the series finale. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and give us a like.